Live from the Buick Studios, this is News Radio 830 WCCO.
Hope I'm not disturbing you, but I saw you from across the party, and I don't usually do this, but I felt compelled to tell you something. You have an absolutely breathtaking hiney. I mean, that thing is good. I want to be friends with it.
I don't know. It could be audio from the boot camp. We're going to talk about that in a matter of moments. We have a link to this story we're going to discuss right now. It's the cover story of this week's City Pages. Wingmen practice art of the pickup. And within the City Pages story, which I encourage you to check out, or again on our show page, WCCO.com/Chad. Again, WCCO.com/Chad. Quote in the story is Nick Savoy. He co-founded the Los Angeles-based Love Systems. He's quoted saying, "We study a lot of psychology to get this stuff to work, to go take a class in dating and attraction. You already have to be somebody who can put their ego aside, who is interested in self-help, who is ambitious with their life." Nick suggests here that boot camps at Love Systems cost $3,000 for the weekend. And Nick claims to have trained more than 10,000 men in the art of the pickup. When we head out to Los Angeles, where Nick Savoy is nice enough to join us. Hello, Nick. How you doing this afternoon?
Doing well, Chad. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Thanks a lot for coming on. How did you end up in this line of work?
This is definitely not what I thought I'd be doing with my life.
Yeah.
But no, I graduated from college, and my girlfriend and I had broken up, and I moved out to a new city where I didn't know anybody. And I guess like a lot of guys, I found it just really wasn't that easy when you're not meeting women at work or through school or through friends. And I'd go out to bars or restaurants or to the parks, and I'd do all the stuff that all the books tell you to do, and it just wasn't working. So after a while, I'm like, screw this. I'm not going to be lonely for the rest of my life. I'm going to, I will try anything I can find. I will, go out and learn, whatever systems are out there, and I'm going to figure this out. And bit by bit, started putting together different ideas just through trial and error. I mean, I didn't care why anything worked. I didn't care what's supposed to work. I just go out and try it and see what would happen.
So are you trying these ideas, or are you observing also and jotting things down?
At first, it started with me. I mean, I had no idea this was what I was going to actually be doing with my life. I thought I was just trying to get a girlfriend.
Right, right, sure.
But I started making notes about it. I started emailing people, and then that kind of became a little bit of a mailing list or a newsletter. I mean, this is back like almost 10 years ago now. And then people started saying, oh, well, the stuff in your newsletter is pretty good. You should write a book. And, started doing that, and people, started showing up in San Diego. That's where I was living at the time, and being like, hey, let's go out to the bars or whatever. And, it all kind of grew from there. But, right now we have a network of, about 40-odd instructors around the world. We're in, 20 different countries, 60 different cities. And the guys, the second-generation guys now, the guys that have taken my system and are building on it, they're doing some extraordinary stuff that I never even would have thought of.
So are you getting paid for what the second-generation folks are doing?
Oh, yeah. It's still based on, it's all under the Love Systems umbrella. So, this is now what I'm doing full-time, which
nice.
is, I travel around, I do quality control on our weekend boot camps. I edit and help produce all our books and DVD series because, not everybody has $3,000 or $29.97 to, spend a weekend learning this stuff live. So for some people, it's easier to watch a DVD or read a book or something like that. So we do all that kind of stuff. And then, we're constantly getting applications to become an instructor with us. So there's a lot of, a selection, training, and all that kind of stuff that goes on.
Okay, so how does that work? Let's say my producer here, Dan Cook, wants to come out and he wants to be a trainer at one of your boot camps. What does he have to demonstrate?
Three things. First of all, you actually got to be good with women. So, we'll take you to parks, bars, coffee shops. We won't tell you where we're going, and I want to see it. I want to sit down and I want to see you get phone numbers, makeouts. I know what to look for, and I want to see it happen.
That's a lot of pressure on these guys, right?
No, you think it's a lot of pressure having one guy watch you. Now, imagine 8 guys that are spending $3,000 each. They're flying in. A lot of these guys save up for a while to have enough money for these programs because it's pretty important to get your love life and your sex life and your dating life together. So, you got 8 guys there. You've got your peers. You've got fellow instructors there because we need to have one instructor for every 3 clients so that you got enough personal attention. You think it's not pressure having one guy watch you. Talk about having like 12 guys watch you. And that if you're not doing it right, they're all going to ask for refunds because we offer a refund on every single thing we do. So if you don't think it was worth every penny that you paid for it, you get all your money back. So that's pressure. You have to pick up this girl. And obviously you can't pick up every girl. It's just the world doesn't work like that. But if you go to a bar and there's, say 5 beautiful women there that, you might be interested in meeting, and, you got a group of clients with you that they want to see how the system works, I mean, you darn well better be able to do a good job with at least 2 or 3 of them.
Nick Savoy is our guest. I first saw Nick's name in the cover story. This week's City Page is Wingman, practicing the art of the pickup. And Nick has his business, Love Systems. I'm assuming you're on the web. Go ahead and give a quick plug if people want to check it out on the web.
For sure. It's lovesystems.com. You'll find a ton of free material there. There's videos of, inside our boot camps. ABC Nightline was did a hatchet job on us a few months ago, so you can go check that out. And then there's a free online discussion board. It's the largest forum for dating advice for men in the world, and it's theattractionforums.com. Theattractionforums.com.
And if folks don't check it out just directly, we've also linked to it on our show page. So WCCO.com/ and you go right to Nick's site. Okay, how has this changed in 2011? The information you're providing now compared to, let's say, a couple of years ago when this whole thing was taken off?
Oh, I mean, that's a great question. I mean, the way the dating world really does change quickly, and it's not because people change, but it's because technology changes. I mean, when I started this stuff back in 03, 04, you wouldn't have, nobody was talking about text messaging. I mean, that wasn't part of dating at all. By 2009, I mean, we have a book called The Ultimate Guide to Phone and Text Game, which is like 200 pages of like text message scripts, basically. How to get her to come over, how to, go from getting the phone number at the bar to being sure you're going to see her again on a date. I mean, all of this stuff. I mean, that's, a big change right there. Here's another one that's happening right now is with all this social media stuff, and especially location-based social media. People aren't going to be going on dates as much anymore. It's going to be more like, all right, hook me up on Foursquare, on this system or on that system, and if we're in the same area, we'll hang out. That's going to change dating as well. So, we have to be on top of all of this kind of stuff.
Hang on, sir. Let me take a short break here. Nick Savoy is with us, co-founder of the Los Angeles-based Love System. We can link right to it on our show page, WCCO.com/Chad. I want to hear a little bit about what he said about Nightline and what he felt like was a hatchet job, and then also what various women have thought when they've taken a look at the site when everything is being described about how basically to bed them, what has been the reaction with various gals when they've checked out the site. More with Nick Savoy in a matter of moments. It's 19 past 1. Chad Hartman with you on CCO.
Don't forget, you can listen to Chad at work on your computer. Log on, WCCOradio.com.
All right, let's get right back to our conversation with Nick Savoy, co-founded the Los Angeles-based Love Systems. We're picking up on the cover story in this week's City Pages, Wingman Practice Art of the Pickup. The story and a link to Nick's business is available to you at WCCO.com/Chad. Thanks for your patience, Nick. You mentioned Nightline. You didn't appreciate their look at you. What didn't you like?
Oh, I mean, I'm just being flippant, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing what they see as being their job. I mean, it's just, and if you go onto Google and you type, ABC Nightline, Love Systems, the video come up and people can decide for themselves. It's just funny the way that people will act like this gives men sort of an quote unfair unquote advantage over women, and it's not. That's just so backwards thinking. There's nothing about an unfair advantage. I mean, we're only trying to teach men to do what women actually respond to. I mean, if it didn't work, we wouldn't teach it. And it's really just the male equivalent of, women's magazines. If you pick up any issue of Cosmo or Glamour or whatever, it's, how to meet a man this summer, where to go with rich men, how to improve this about yourself. We're not, it's not sort of sleazy pickup lines. It's not about that. I mean, there's no pickup line in the world that's going to, develop attraction with the woman.
So what's the number one thing you're teaching guys if they sign up for your service?
I mean, I'll answer that, but I'll preface it by saying there's not one thing. I mean, I call my book Magic Bullets to make fun of the idea that there's like one single magic bullet. There's like 1,000 things you can do that'll improve your success with women. You don't have to get them all right. You just have to get enough of them right. And a lot of it is about, I mean, guys are so obsessed by, like, what do I say? What do I say next? And a lot of that stuff is, at the beginning when you're meeting a woman, is all white noise. She's looking at your nonverbals, your body language, your subcommunications. And a lot of that stuff's really hard to notice what you're doing and really hard to change. And that's why we use a lot of video to be like, all right, you see where, he's standing like this, or he's got his drink in front of him, or he's got his hands in his pockets, or he's talking too quickly, or he's, all that kind of stuff that just shows that you're not projecting confidence.
Isn't that the big word that you guys probably talk about? I mean, from my single female friends, or now married or in relationship female friends, I probably hear confidence as a word more than any word I hear.
For sure, and that's one of we've identified like 8 what we call attraction switches, and that's one of them, and one of the most important for sure. But it's not good enough to just tell a guy, be confident. I mean, that's like telling a guy, the way to make money is to be rich. That's
right.
The result. So, I can't make you be confident. What I can do is I can give you a system that you have confidence in that actually works, because you'll see our instructors do it. I can take you out to, restaurants, bars, and clubs, and coach you on how to work it so that you're getting some success. And I can teach you how to mimic the behaviors of confident men. Women don't have, women can't stare into your soul and see how confident you are. They can, however, pick up on a lot of your cues, well, especially a lot of your nonverbal cues. A lot of women will test you. If they're feeling attracted to you, they'll try to throw you off your game to see, is this really who you are, and so on. We can teach guys how to do that. And then from there, you can develop, you'll get some success under your belt and develop some real confidence.
Okay, when female, either friends of yours or women who've learned of your group and love systems and they've observed it, what have you heard so far? What has been the feedback?
I mean, you'll find both positive and negative feedback. I mean, we have had female instructors in the past. We have a lot of women that are very interested in what we do. But then, we just had a reporter from the Boston Globe come out to one of our boot camps, and she wrote that, how horrified she was that all this stuff was working. So, I mean, she's obviously got, some kind of bias. I mean, even if you're willing to admit that in print, that you've got that kind of bias coming in, I'm horrified that this works. It's definitely from the other perspective. I mean, women like men, there's a ton of diversity. Some think it's great, and some that wish that, men weren't sharing knowledge this way.
And I got about 60 seconds left. I'm assuming business is going well and things are only getting bigger?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we are. I mean, my book's gotten translated into another couple of languages now. I mean, we're expanding worldwide. A lot of our programs have waiting lists and so on, but we can only grow so fast as we can produce quality instructors, and that training process is between a year and 2 years in most cases. So there's only so quickly
2 years before you're certified?
Yeah, I mean
wow.
You don't mess around. I'm not going to mess around. I mean, if I'm going to send some guy to train 6 or 8 of our clients, and this is their big deal. This is how they're going to change their lives. I mean, I was a single, lonely guy in the past. I'm not going to screw around with, sending an inadequate instructor out. We make sure these guys are trained. They've been reviewed. After every program, we collect student feedback. I mean, we're pretty hardcore on making sure that our instructors are always doing the best job.
Nick, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks very much, Chad.
Nick Savoy, again, the City Pages story and his business is linked on our show page, WCCO.com/Chad.